All right, so if you're using those red Solo cups for your paint water, just stop. Stop it, please. Stop, stop. It makes me nervous. I see it sometimes in pictures, in videos. It just scares me because you know what? Those things are tippy. They are so lightweight, so tippy. Let me tell you what I use instead. So, in a video I did the other day about how to change your desk into an art table and back, I talked briefly about paint water and how I had a lot to say about it, so I was going to say more on another day. Well, here's the day. Those red Solo cups, anything plastic really, is just too tippy, too easily spilled. And by the way, very often when paint water is spilled, it's because people are resting their brushes in it, and you go to reach for something, boo, you run into your brushes, and over goes the water. So three solutions for that. One, don't use plastic. So I used to use these when I was teaching my bigger classes in person because they were stackable, affordable, lightweight, but I never filled them more than an inch or so with water because that was the cup for resting your brushes in. So I'm a proponent of having 2 containers of water when you're painting with acrylics. One to hold your brushes and one to hold your water to rinse your brushes. So these are the 2 that I generally use when I'm painting or something like it, but they're glass. So glass is heavy, less likely to be knocked over. This littler one, is to hold my brushes. Now, I keep about that much water in there, so I just rest my brushes in there during my painting session so they don't dry out. I live in Colorado. It is hella dry here, and acrylic paint dries immediately. So I just want to keep my brushes wet. You know, don't leave them in there overnight. And certain brushes, small, delicate ones, you don't want to do that with. But these guys, absolutely. And I just put enough water in there so that it covers the hairs of the brush. And I don't want to go above the ferrule because once you go above the ferrule, which is that metal part that holds the hairs onto the handle, it starts to loosen the glue and it starts to eat away the wood, and it's really gross to touch. I don't even care the way it looks, it just feels gross. So I just keep a little bit of water in there, put that to the side, and then my water for rinsing brushes and for using water in my paint is here. And I've got tricks to keep that water fairly clear. That's another video. So if you've ever had the experience of putting your paintbrush in your beverage container, well, you're not alone. One way to avoid that is to keep your drink on your non-dominant hand side. So for me, my drink goes on my left-hand side, my paint water goes on my right-hand side. Another way, though, to cure all of this, the spilling and the putting the brushes in the beverage, is to get a little container like this that hooks onto the edge of your desk or your painting table. I have this thing on the edge of my table, and this is the one. If I only have one of these, and sometimes I keep 2 on my table, but if I only have one, the one that holds the brushes is the one that goes off the edge of the table, because that is the one, like I said, it's likely to get knocked over if I go to reach for something else. So this keeps it safe, keeps the water away from the stuff on my desk, the electronics, whatever else, and keeps me from knocking it over. It's a brilliant little invention, which, you know, was not made for painters, I'm sure, but that's what I use it for. And there's actually another one. When I was looking for the link for this to give you all, I found another one that has a little extra extension on the side so you can put other things in there. That might be cool to hold the paintbrushes that you haven't used yet. You know, like if you've got a bunch of paintbrushes, you can stick them in there next to your paint water and have them away from your painting area, but at arm's length. Really helps to be comfortable and organized when you start to paint, and that way you're not rushing around looking for this, looking for that. It's good to have your stuff together. So I'll put a link for this down below if you'd like to try one out, and I'll put a link to the other one too. And if you try it out, let me know how it works, and I don't know, I might just order one and see myself. All right, happy painting.